Hi everyone, this is Anna. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the requirements and how to report your marriage when you got married in another country. But before we proceed, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any exciting vlogs on my channel. And also don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. So first is the requirements. There are required documents that you need to gather and submit that to the general consulate so you can or they can register your marriage in the Philippines. First document or requirement is the report of marriage form. 5 forms should be printed in A4, so A4 size bond paper. Originally filled out, it means that you have to fill it out like you can type or you can write it by pen, and no photocopy. The 5 forms should be originally filled out. Because some of them, they photocopy one form and filled it out, but it says originally filled out. So that's why you have to print 5 forms and fill it in. You have to fill it in, and then item 20 in the form, number 20 in the form should be notarized by the notary public. I'm gonna show you the form later, guys. And then entries must be typewritten or printed legibly. So as I said, you have to type written, you have to type when you're filling out the forms, printed legibly. And then entries must be at the time of marriage of the spouse or subject. So when you filled out the form, the date should be the time of the marriage, the date when you got married. And next is marriage contract or marriage certificate. So when you got married in the United States or in another country, you have to get that marriage contract or marriage certificate and submit that together with the required documents. So if you have question about the marriage certificate, you can order the marriage certificate in the country that you got married. For example, we got married online in Utah, so my husband ordered 2 marriage certificate. I mean 2 each of us, so it's 4, total of 4 marriage certificate from the Utah county. And number 3, or it's not yet number 3. So yeah, marriage certificate, because there are Filipino that got married in Canada, in another part of Asia. And okay, here is the guidelines. For marriage certificates not in English language, kindly submit an official English translation. For marriages solemnized in China, France, Austria, Norway, Denmark, Finland, Sweden, Iceland, Netherlands, and in the Middle Eastern countries, for example, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the country of marriage must authenticate the marriage certificate. So it should be authenticated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the countries that I mentioned. And next, for marriages solemnized in Nepal and India, marriage certificate must be attested by the notary public in India, notarized there. and attested by the Ministry of External Affairs of the Nepal or India, and authenticated by the Philippine Embassy in New Delhi or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of India in the Philippines. For applicants married under the consular jurisdiction of the Philippine Consulate General in Toronto, in Canada, this is in Canada, kindly submit the original certified true copy of marriage license. Okay, the long form of the marriage license. Next, for applicants married under the consular of marriage must authenticate the marriage certificate. Next is for applicants who got married in Indonesia, the Ministry of Human Rights and Justice must also authenticate the marriage certificate before you submit that to the that's all. Number 3 requirements aside from the marriage certificate or the marriage contract or the marriage license. Number 3, birth certificate of both parties. So your birth certificate and your husband's certificate. Birth certificate of your husband and your birth certificate. Number 4, passports of both parties valid at the time of marriage and current or valid passport of both parties. So photocopies of the data pages, you have to photocopy in the front of your passport where you can find the data page. And in case of unavailability, execute an affidavit of non-submission of document and attach a copy or a valid copy or recent passport or any valid ID. So if your passport is not available, you have to execute an affidavit of non-submission of document and attach your valid ID. So for the applicants in the USA or Canada, you have to submit photocopies of your data pages of the passport. If your passport is unavailable, so you have to execute an affidavit of non-submission of document and attach your valid ID. And also your green card and or permanent resident card, copy of visa if you're a tourist, and the job contract or working permit. And if parties were Filipino citizens and had acquired foreign citizenship, after the marriage, submit certificate of neutralization. And number 5, next to the passport is 5 recent passport size photos of both parties. So you have to prepare 5 recent passport size photos of your husband and you. Next, notarized affidavit of delayed registration. It is only required to the applicants who are married for more than 1 year. If you're married for more than 1 year and then your marriage is not yet reported in the Philippine Consulate or the Philippine Embassy, tubig. Dali tubig. Juice eh. Okay. Sorry guys. Next to that, negative certification of marriage required from the PSA with QR code or CRS form number 3. This is the CNMR, certificate of no marriage, like negative certification. You have to get this to see if you are married in the Philippines, if you have a previous marriage in the Philippines and not yet annulled or divorced. Okay. Reminders for annulled or legally separated Filipino spouse. Submit copy of DFA authenticated marriage contract issued by the PSA with QR code with proper annotation. So if you're annulled or legally separated Filipino spouse, for the Filipino spouse, so you have to submit a copy of DFA authenticated marriage contract issued by the PSA. If you're not married, so you have to submit that negative certification of marriage record. It's just like Sinomar, that's state that you're not married to anyone else. So for a divorced Filipino spouse who has no marriage in PSA, submit copy of divorce decree or certificate validated by the regional trial court nearest the spouse's place of residence in the Philippines. For widowed Filipino spouse, submit, if you're a widow, submit death certificate issued by the PSA with QR code or foreign death certificate of previous spouse. So for your foreign spouse, divorced or annulled or legally separated foreign spouse, submit copy of foreign decree or decision, the divorce decree of your husband if he's divorced. If your spouse is widow, submit the certificate of the previous wife or spouse. So that's all are the requirements. So you have to pay $25 to be paid in Philippine peso at the cashier, or you can do this online. Okay, what we did is, this is the form, guys. What we did, my husband filled it out this first, and then by typewriting, and then signed here in number 20. Husband, he signed here, and then he mailed this to me through DHL. So he sent all the forms through the DHL. Then after a week, I received the forms, and then I signed it. I signed here, the husband and wife, signature of informants number 20. And then after I signed, because there you have to seal or notarial authority on this side and on this side where your signature is, and then the lawyer will just notarize here. And then it's like five forms. The required is 5 forms are required. And then after that, after I gather all the documents, because the important one is to notarize this form, and then I send it back to my husband here in the United States through DHL again. It's DHL. And then my husband mailed this to San Francisco, California, because there is a Philippine embassy there, so the general consulate is there. And then after the processing time is 2 to 4 months. After 2 to 4 months, they will email you, or they will mail you again the forms. And then here, because this is the report and marriage form, they will email you back the form, and it has already a date of registration. So date of registration and the registry number. So it means it is already reported or registered in the Philippines, and then you can inquire in the PSA if you already have the marriage certificate in the PSA or the report of marriage in the PSA. And if you have questions about reporting the marriage, just comment down below, and I hope this video is so helpful. And don't forget to like and comment your questions and your ideas, and let me know if you're watching this video. Just comment down below, and please share this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and bye bye.
Cause I don't want the simple life, it's the fine things I like.